Once the heart of American manufacturing, the Rust Belt now tells a heartbreaking story of decline. Cities like Detroit, Cleveland, Youngstown, Flint, and Buffalo, places that built cars, steel, and the American dream, now battle abandoned factories, sky-high poverty, and persistent crime. Poverty doesn't just mean empty pockets. In the Rust Belt, it fuels desperation, drug use, theft, and sometimes violence. By 2025, poverty rates in major Rust Belt cities remain far above the national average. Detroit around 28%, Cleveland 25%, Buffalo 22%, with some rural counties hitting 30%. While overall U.S. violent crime dropped sharply in 2025, homicides down 21% nationally, many Rust Belt areas still struggle with property crime and drug-related offenses well above average. Today, we uncover how poverty became the fuel for crime in America's Rust Belt. This is not just statistics, it's real lives. If this story hits hard, like the video now, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're exposing the full $2 trillion crime economy one layer at a time. Let's go inside the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt earned its name from decades of factory shutdowns. Auto plants, steel mills, and manufacturing jobs vanished as companies moved overseas or automated. Cities lost over 40% of their population in some cases. Detroit alone shrank dramatically. Result: median household incomes lag the national average, around $58,000 versus $72,000 nationally in recent data. Education levels are lower. Only about 28% of adults hold bachelor's degrees compared to 34% nationally. Unemployment and underemployment became chronic. Poverty rates skyrocketed since the 1970s. In many Rust Belt cities, over 25–30% of residents live below the poverty line. Empty homes, blighted neighborhoods, and weakened community ties followed. This economic despair created the perfect conditions for crime to take root. Research consistently shows a strong link. Poverty and income inequality explain a large part of variations in crime rates, especially violent crime like homicide and property crimes. In the Rust Belt, property crime remains elevated. Theft, burglary, car theft, driven by survival needs. Drug trade fills the economic void. Opioids and meth became escape and income sources in depressed areas. Violence often stems from disputes over scarce resources, gangs protecting turf, or domestic stress from financial hardship. Detroit, Cleveland, and Flint have seen persistently high violent crime rates in past years, even as national trends improved in 2025. Studies show poverty and inequality can account for nearly half of the variation in homicide rates across states. Why? When legitimate jobs disappear, underground economies grow. Weak social control, fewer community organizations, broken families, underfunded schools makes it harder to prevent crime. Young people in high-poverty neighborhoods face limited opportunities, leading some towards gangs or quick money crimes. Meet people like those in Youngstown or Flint, former steel or auto workers who lost everything when plants closed. Families trapped in cycles. Parents can't afford stable housing, kids drop out, opportunities vanish. One story repeats. A father turns to selling drugs to feed his kids. A teenager joins a crew for protection and money. Seniors become victims of theft in under-policed areas. Even as homicides fell nationally in 2025, property crime and drug offenses in these regions tell a different story. Desperation doesn't disappear overnight. Blighted blocks with abandoned houses become hotspots for crime. The emotional toll: hopelessness, broken communities, and generational trauma. National crime dropped significantly in 2025, homicides at historic lows, thanks to better policing, community programs, and other factors. But in Rust Belt pockets, structural poverty keeps certain crimes elevated. Solutions exist: job retraining, investing in education, revitalizing downtowns, stronger community policing. Some cities show glimmers of renaissance through tech, arts, or new industries, but legacy costs, population loss, and underfunding slow progress. Without addressing root causes, economic opportunity, and social cohesion, poverty will continue fueling parts of the crime economy. The Rust Belt story is America's warning. When poverty takes hold, crime often follows. But it's not hopeless. Awareness and targeted investment can change trajectories. What do you think? Can the Rust Belt recover? Is poverty the main driver of crime? Drop your thoughts below. Like if this opened your eyes, share with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for the next episode, Corruption in Blue, Dirty U.S. Cops. We're building towards 1 million views exposing the $2 trillion crime empire. Your support makes it happen. Stay informed, stay compassionate. Thanks for watching.